Hi Harvey, I'm going to show you the proper way how to grid your problems on a griddable. So we're going to look at 3 different examples. So your first example, we're going to take negative 16 plus 24. And when I typically work out these problems, what I do, I circle the sign that's immediately in front of my number. Now I can easily tell, okay, my signs are different. So when my signs are different, I'm going to find the difference between the two. So difference means to subtract, right? So 24 minus 16, that is 8. The absolute value of 16 is 16. The absolute value of 24 is 24. Who's bigger? 24, right? So since 24 is positive, my answer is going to stay positive. Now, if you think of this as $8, where is your decimal in $8? At the end, right? So that is how you're going to grid it on your griddable. You don't have to put a 0 behind it. You can if you want to, if it makes you feel better, because the zeros are just place values there. Now, you have a positive and a negative here. Since my answer is positive, I don't have to shade in that positive sign. You can leave it blank. But if you want to, you can. That is perfectly fine. Totally up to you. All right, let's look at another example. So let's say I have 4 5/10 times 3/10. Okay, so when we're multiplying decimals, you're going to take that and multiply it normally without the decimals. 5 times 3, that's 15. 3 times 4 is 12, plus 1, it's 13. Then you go back to your original problem. You have one number here behind the decimal, another number here behind the decimal, so that means my answer has to have 2 numbers behind the decimal. So here's 1, 2. So there it is, 2 numbers behind my decimal. So my answer is actually 1 35/100ths. And it's positive, so again, I don't have to shade in the positive. I can if I want to, because I'm still going to get it correctly, as long as I grid this correctly. So it's 1 35/100ths. So make sure that is shaded in, 1 35. There's a 3, and then my 5. And make sure it's shaded in correctly there. All right, so let's take a look at one other example. Let's say I have negative 17 divided by 20. So I'm going to T-bow this problem. Top in, bottom out. I'm not going to worry about the sign just yet. I'm going to take care of it when I'm done dividing this out. 20 can't go into 17, so I'm going to add a 0 in my decimal and bring down an imaginary 0. 20 can go into 170. Well, if I cover my zeros, 2 goes into 17 8 times, right? So then you just add your 0. 20 times 8 is 160. You subtract that out. I'm going to bring down another imaginary 0. 20 goes into 100 5 times, and this is going to 0 out here. Okay, remember, don't forget that negative sign. So if I use that magic triangle trick, I have a negative and a positive, so my answer actually has to be negative. So don't forget to grid that in. You do have to grid in your negative sign because it is a negative answer. And then it's 85/100ths. Move this down. We're going to come down to the 8. Grid that in nice and neatly. And there you go. That is the way you would properly grid your answers on a griddable. Thanks for watching. Bye.